The most common challenges are the resistance to change, the fear of failure, and the incapability of having a clear image of what your preferred future is. It's like putting on a new pair of glasses that suddenly allows you to see things, exponential possibilities everywhere. It's a mindset shift that transforms you from thinking in incremental improvements to understanding that there is also the possibility of a 10x growth. And it's not necessarily 10x more complicated.
Hi, I'm Salim Ismail, the founder of OpenExO and the author of Exponential Organizations. Today, we're excited to share a powerful testimonial from Diego Soroa, an exceptional EXO coach and innovator. Diego's been driving powerful transformation across industries from architecture to insurance by using very powerful principles. In this video, Diego's going to share the EXO impact on his journey and the extraordinary transformation he's been able to leverage and deliver, from powerful innovation to mindset changes to innovation challenges across the board. Whether it's integrating new technologies or challenging traditional problem spaces, Diego's story shows us how exponential thinking can redefine what's possible.
So I've always been a change maker. Actually, I'm an architect and I've been exploring change through various disciplines, in architecture, urbanism, but also art, and then later entrepreneurship. I founded 4 startups and I was awarded with several awards in several of these categories and disciplines. My name is Diego Soroa. I'm the Chief Transformation Officer at Capital Certainty. So I would say our company deeply integrates several of the EXO principles in our operations. And joining OpenExO was just the next logical step in that journey. Singularity Diversity is about the why, and OpenExO was about the how you can create that change. And this experience definitely expanded my scale, my reach, and my network. I would say that probably it is the context in which the majority of my current professional activity takes place. OpenExO has provided us with a very robust framework that encourages our clients to move beyond the incremental approaches and embrace exponential growth. The most ambitious companies want to be hedged for the future, and they understand that probably doing little bets, little explorations to belong to that future, to gain the right to operate in that new future, is a possibility that they need to gain by means of start experimenting today. This framework is especially valid for those companies, and the results are amazing. So we found there an issue, which is the challenge of providing insurance to workers in Bangladesh factories where conditions make workers uninsurable. So we created an API link to connect the insurance companies with the factories, providing a daily census of employees. And we have access now to 48 factories and about 120,000 employees that we've been able to calculate risk, to accurately understand, and now to insure. So far, we've connected 9 factories, providing life insurance to around 25,000 workers. And I would say that is one of the projects in which embracing these exponential technologies has allowed us to make a more significant impact. So there's many in these last 10 years or so since I met Salim. One of the pivotal moments in which my understanding changed was being part of the foundational sprint with Interprotección. The project was really successful, and afterwards it was led by my colleague in Mexico, Leticia Jauregui. It was named the machine, la máquina in Spanish. And they had really remarkable results, particularly after the earthquakes. And the lab became instrumental in their innovation strategy. This approach I've replicated in several other companies, including Banco Santander and including Racini, always based on refined protocols, subtle changes in channels, incentives, or narratives that made significant differences. And I've perfected these protocols over the time, and now I'm applying them in IE Business School, in, of course, an initiative that is called the Edge Lab. So all of these initiatives stem from my early experiences and learnings at OpenExO, demonstrating the EXO framework's effectiveness in driving innovation and transformation. One of the most dear examples that I have is with the company Racini. Racini is in Mexico the largest producer of suspension components and brake discs. In the Americas, they supply parts to major auto brands like Tesla and Maserati. But the auto part business has a low growth and margins. A few years ago, we worked with them in an innovation project, and we formed diverse teams to reimagine manufacturing. My team explored, among other things, combining 3D printing and generative design, and we called it exponential design. Generative design is this technology that allows us now, also engineers and architects, to work in a completely different manner. So we were, in very little time, we were able to reduce, we created a prototype using a metal 3D printer that cut component weight in 8% and slashed prototyping time in half through rapid experimentation. That was an amazing result in only just 5 weeks. There was even a greater success, in my opinion, that showcases the importance of this exponential mindset. During this process, we coach participants to challenge the assumptions and to find new problem spaces in order to radically improve the ideation process. My team was once again successful. They were able to understand that as electric motors are displacing all combustion engines, there's a new problem to be solved, and that is the noise of the suspension mechanisms. Previously covered by loud engines, the noise now was really annoying. So understanding that novel prospective problem space gave the company an edge, and my team was able to reframe the problem around generative design, around reducing noise and parameterizing that variable. Other results were achieved. Rossini doubled its valuation in 2 years and it canceled a risky 100 million overseas expansion project, and instead they invested in AI and more experimentation. So there's many frameworks that work. Blue Ocean, Lean Startup, Agile, Design Thinking, they've all proven amazing results in understanding the client or finding new value propositions, new business models or new markets. I would say that our framework, the EXO framework, builds on top of all of them and combines the main issues of some of them, but it also adds new things. First of all is the idea of the problem displacement. I just mentioned how in Rossini we were able to understand a newly relevant or prospective problem, and that gave the company an edge. The second one is the idea of the exponential thinking. It's very complicated to compute for the future development of our technology, and that is something that we built in, especially in the Edge initiatives. Third one is the idea of the immune system, powerfully formulated by Salim. This idea that there's going to be a lot of internal reluctance to change, both at the individual level and the collective level, at the cultural level. And we found a way to identify that immune system and to make it feel part of the changing process. So that, I think, it's unique, and that'll be the third point. But there's 3 more points. The fourth, I would say, is the idea, the fact that we are purpose-driven and purpose-enabled organizations and ventures, and that is unequivocally described by the idea of the MTP as the overarching attribute. We also do something that I really think is differential, the fact that we invest in this dual transformation. Yes, we need to perfect the core, and we also need to explore new alternatives at the edge. So this dual core versus edge approach, or core and edge approach, I would say it's very specific. And we do accelerate digitization, and we do also adopt agile ways of working, but with the leverage of these attributes that are very easy to understand and actually quite easy to apply, at least to imagine the potential impact that these attributes could have in your context. Now, as digital tools are lowering the cost of organizing ourselves and self-organization, I would think that one is a very important one. Of course, experimentation is the one that needs to be there systematically, and very tied to experimentation is the idea of having autonomy to experiment and to fail, right? But probably the one that is closest to me is the MTP. And I do have a very important or interesting examples to convey what a massive change an MTP can bring. I remember working with pharma companies, with Celgene and with Bristol Myers. And in the case of Celgene, they were launching CAR-T, cellular therapy, which is a completely new, disruptive and revolutionary therapy to treat cancer that is quite expensive. So we were trying in Spain to create an ecosystem to make those treatments a little more accessible to people. So we needed to, ex novo, from the beginning, create a completely new association, not only with the regulatory systems and with the government, but also with other companies and with the patient associations. And we use these famous MTP of no patient left behind that the US Senate used in the past, and the Marines used also, the Greeks used, right, back on the days. And we used it internally to create a movement around the possibility of bringing everybody on board and making sure that patients would have the right treatment. No Patient Left Behind is an MTP that worked fantastically for us. After hearing that massive transformative purpose, you cannot just remain still, and the doors would open easily for us. I wouldn't say easily, but it make a huge of a difference. So if you really find a very strong MTP, as we did in that case, that makes your life easier, and it makes all abundances accessible to you. Disruptive innovation is no longer, or should not be considered as high risk innovation. I would say actually the risk is not to innovate. So there is this concept of the insufficient innovation that I use with the clients. Some of the challenges, especially when we are facing global challenges, those really big and intricate challenges, the solutions that we are proposing are incremental, they are slow, and they are very limited. So we need faster and more profound changes. But more than that, I would say that the most important metric of any company is survival. And if you want to remain competitive over time, at the current speed of change, you better try to experiment with the different possible alternatives, different venues, different possibilities to hedge your positions, because otherwise these accelerated metabolism and these shortening lifespan of a company will also occur to you. So I would say that more and more innovation is a moat, is a barrier of entry, and the capability of exploring these prospective problem spaces and these disruptive innovations is a benefit that I would strongly recommend for everyone. Moreover, initially these bets are not very complicated in terms of budget or very complicated in terms of technology. They are more complicated in terms of mentality, in terms of mindset. So it's more a matter of broadening a little bit the scope of what you consider possible than anything. It's a cultural thing. So at the end of the day, also it's a problem of imagination. We do not have clear image, shared image of our preferred future. So I would say focus on education, helping people understand the why behind the change, and also create some safe spaces for experimentation and celebrate both success and failures or learnings from these failures. You need to be prepared for a journey that will challenge your assumptions, that will push you out of your comfort zone. Start by educating yourself and your team about exponential concept and identify the change maker. Build a coalition of champions within your organization. Begin small, have clear metrics, manageable projects. Be ambitious on the end vision, but not on the first steps towards that. And make sure that you deliver some value from the beginning. Embrace experimentation. Do not be afraid to fall. And focus on creating a culture that values this innovation, this agility, and this continuous learning. Learning is the currency of sustainability, so I would definitely try to put the mechanisms to accelerate and precipitate shared learning. It equips us with tools, frameworks, and mindset to reanalyze, to reassess these assumptions, and to identify both challenges and opportunities in front of you. I love when I see the click in the team members. Why am I a member of your OpenExO community? And the reason I'm part of this movement is because after Singularity University, there was this void. How do we actually transform the reality? How do we create a world of abundance? OpenExO and the framework that we co-created actually was an answer to that. With Salim's generosity leading the process, I found a community of equally minded individuals eager to learn and to create positive impact. And the fact that there was this alignment in values and this shared vision of the optimistic future, and the fact that we learn faster is the combination of reasons why I belong and I defend this community.
Thank you for watching Diego's amazing journey. If you're inspired to take the next step, join us for the Discovery Workshop happening this week. Join hundreds of thousands of companies in becoming an EXO and start your exponential transformation journey today. The link is in the description.
If you enjoyed this, click the thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like it. The algorithm thinks you'll enjoy this video next.